Dear students, I am a mathematics faculty from Narayana Group of Education Institutions. I am here to discuss mathematics paper of Grand Test Mains. Okay. Now we shall start discussing the questions. Question number 51 onwards. Goes like this: x power k plus y power k equal to a power k, where a and k are positive, and given that dy by dx plus y by x whole power 1 by 5 equal to 0, then find the value of k. So to find the value of k, I go for differentiating the given statement with respect to x. So k into x power k minus 1 plus k into y power k minus 1 into dy by dx equal to 0, which implies dy by dx is equal to minus of x by y whole power k minus 1 after having cancelled k. Now we compare with the given statement. So for that I will write it one more step: dy by dx plus y by x whole power 1 minus k equal to 0. So which implies 1 minus k equal to 1 by 5, then k equal to 4 by 5. So the correct option for the given question is option B. B is the correct answer. Right? Now we shall discuss question number 52. Question number 52 says a equal to cos theta minus sin theta and cos theta. We need to find out the matrix, that is a power minus 50 when theta equal to pi by 12. So first let's see what is a power minus 50. Nothing but a power minus 1 whole power 50. So we need to find out first A inverse. I will find out A inverse using the formula adjoint A by det A, right? So A inverse, I will write it, it is going to be cos theta and sin theta minus sin theta and cos theta. I have calculated A inverse using the formula. So let us take now, this is now B. Our aim is to find out B power 50. So B power 50 will become cos of 50 theta and the sin of 50 theta and minus sin of 50 theta and cos of 50 theta. Right? If you have any doubt, actually I have done by using mathematical induction. If you have any problem, we can use it. B square we can find out. If you find out B square, it's going to be cos 2 theta, sin 2 theta and minus sin 2 theta and cos 2 theta. Now we need to find out B power 50 when theta equal to pi by 12. When we substitute that theta equal to pi by 12, it is going to be, that is B power 50 is going to be now your option C, that is root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and root 3 by 2. After having substituted theta equal to pi by 12, we will get this. So the correct answer for the question is option C. Okay. Now we shall discuss question number 53. Question number 53 says that condition on theta given, that is minus pi by 6 to pi by 12 given, minus pi by 12, and alpha 1 and beta 1 are the roots of x square minus 2x into secant alpha plus 1 equal to 0, and alpha 2 and beta 2 are the roots of x square plus 2x into tan alpha plus 1 equal to 0. And given that alpha 1 greater than beta 1 and also given that alpha 2 greater than beta 2. And we need to find out the value of alpha 1 plus beta 2 equal to question. So it's a simple quadratic equation, and this also another quadratic equation. The roots are given as alpha 1 and beta 1. So what I will do it is, I will just go for solving the quadratic equation, right? I will solve it. So x is equal to, what is a 2 secant alpha, okay, plus or minus root of, here it is going to be 4 secant square alpha minus 4 whole divided by 2. After having cancelled the 2, okay, x is going to be secant alpha plus or minus, secant square alpha minus 1 is tan alpha, that is tan alpha. So here there are two possible values, that is alpha 1 and beta 1. According to the given condition, alpha 1 greater than beta 1. So using the given condition, alpha 1 is going to become, so secant alpha, okay, minus tan alpha. And alpha beta 1 is going to become secant alpha plus tan alpha. Similarly, we shall solve for this quadratic equation. We will get alpha 2 and beta 2. Alpha 2 is going to become tan alpha minus tan alpha plus or minus secant alpha. According to the condition alpha 2 greater than beta 2, so beta 2 is going to become, I will write it directly, hoping that you will calculate it. Solving this quadratic equation, we are going to get two roots. They are alpha 2 and beta 2. According to the given condition alpha 2 greater than beta 2, I will write it directly, alpha 2 as well as common beta 2. That is nothing but, okay, minus tan alpha minus secant alpha 1, and alpha 2 will become, okay, that is nothing but minus tan alpha plus secant alpha. Now according to the question, alpha 1 plus beta 2, that is alpha 1 plus beta 2 is going to become 2 times minus 2 tan alpha, that is alpha 1 plus beta 2 equal to minus 2 tan alpha. So the correct answer is option C for the question. Now we shall discuss question number 54. 54 question is, given that a bar equal to alpha I plus 2j plus, okay, beta k, and b bar is I plus j and c bar is j plus k, and given that a bar lies in the plane of b and c, and also a bar bisects the angle between b bar and c bar. Since these three vectors are coplanar, I will write it a bar equal to some b bar plus lambda into c bar. So what is a bar? That is alpha I plus 2j plus beta k equal to b I plus j plus lambda times j plus k. So which implies alpha equal to 1 and here 2 equal to 1 plus lambda, so which implies lambda equal to 1, and beta equal to beta k, that is what is that, beta also what is that, 1, which implies. So alpha equal to 1 as well as common beta equal to 1. So the given answer is D. D is the correct answer for the question. You may go for checking also, alpha equal to 1 and beta equal to 1. When you resubstitute here, it becomes I plus 2j plus k. Here also alpha equal to 1 and beta also we can find out, that is nothing but 1. So it matches. So the correct option for the question is D. Now we shall discuss question number 55. The question number 55 says that z is not equal to 1 and z square by z minus 1 is purely real. And our aim is to find out locus of z lies on which of the following curve. The options are given. Let's see first. This is purely real. Let me take z equal to x plus iy. Okay. Now I will substitute, that is x plus iy whole square by x plus iy minus 1. Since it is purely real, imaginary part of this one should be equal to 0. Imaginary part of z square by z minus 1 should be 0. Okay, after having simplification, right, I'll get either y equal to 0 or I'll get it x square plus y square minus 2x is equal to 0. I'm just leaving to you the simplification part, that is imaginary part of the given expression is 0. So then you will get either this or that. Therefore, z lies on either real axis or on a circle which passes through origin and whose center is at 1, 0 and radius is of course 1 unit. Is it right? So the correct option will be A. Now we shall start discussing the question number 56. The question says total number of 4-digit numbers and which are odd that can be formed by using the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, using the repetition allowed. That's given condition. So with repetition we need to form 4-digit number, and that too odd numbers we need to form. So the first digit can be filled by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but among those 6, 0 is a number. So 5 ways we can do. And second digit can be filled by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As there is no restriction on second digit and there is no restriction on third digit also, I can frame by 6 ways. And fourth digit can be filled by, okay, 1, 2, 3 and then 4 ways. Since question says we need to frame 4-digit odd number, therefore 5 into 6 into 6, that is 36 into 5, 180 into 4, 720 ways that can be done. So the correct answer for the given question is D. D is the correct answer, right? Okay, now we shall start discussing the question number 57. 57 says that slope of the line touching the parabola y square equal to 4x and x square equal to minus 32y is dash. So what we need to do it is common tangent we need to find out. Let me write first a tangent equation for the parabola y square equal to 4x. That is nothing but y equal to mx plus a by m. Here a is nothing but 1. Okay. So now this is a tangent to this parabola also. Therefore x square equal to minus 32 in the place of y mx plus 1 by m. So now I shall bring it x square plus 32 m into x minus of minus plus 32 by m equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation in terms of x. It must have 2 equal roots. So I will go for applying d equal to 0 and then we will get m value. Okay, I hope that you can do it. Discriminant equal to 0. So then I will get m equal to 1 by 2. Right? That is the slope of the common tangent. So the required answer for the question is option C. Okay? Yeah, now we shall start discussing the question number 58. Question number 58 says that distance between the foci of an ellipse is 8. That is nothing but 2AE equal to 8. And distance between its directrix, that is 2A by E equal to, it's given that 16. And they are asking you to find out length of the lateral septum. As you know, length of the lateral septum of an ellipse is 2B square by A. So we need to find out this. So there are 2 equations. From using these 2 equations, we can easily find out A value as well as E value. Am I right? Yes. So I am going to find out that. Okay. So A you will get it, E you will get it. Using A and E, we can get it B also. Using the relation B square equal to A square into 1 minus E square. So you will get B square, A value, E value, then directly substitute, you will get length of the lateral septum. I don't think so that I have to calculate it, which we can do easily, right? So the correct answer for the question is, that is option B, that is length of the lateral septum is 4 root 2.